So, one of my friends who is a true professional, very, very successful, said that he wants to set me up with one of his friends. And this guy is a professor at a very prestigious university. So I'm like, okay, he's got to be smart. He's successful. All right, let's do it. So he sets me up with the guy, and the guy calls me, and we have a great conversation. We really, really hit it off. And he's like, hey, you want to go out on a date? I'm like, sure. So we plan to go out on a date, and he plans for us to meet at the museum. I'm like, the museum? Awesome. I'm so in. I mean, this guy seems cultured. So we go to the museum, and to be honest, at first glance, he was very heavy set. And I typically don't go for that kind. But after I got to know him, he was just so smart. He knew about art. He knew about culture. So I'm like, you know what? Who cares? He's got so many other things that he brings to the table. That's fine. I'm still in. So after the museum, he says, hey, you want to go grab something to eat? I'm like, sure. So the rule is that whoever asks you to go out, they should pay. It's not about being the man or the woman. So we go to this Italian restaurant, and it wasn't a very fancy Italian restaurant, but it was pretty mid-range. And I don't drink. I never have. But this dude proceeded to order 3 glasses of wine. He had the salad, he had the appetizer, he had the steak. I mean, like the $60 steak, okay? And he proceeded to have dessert. Me, on the other hand, I only had water. I had a $22 pasta, and I shared a bite or two of his dessert. So my meal, at most with tip, should have been about $35. So now the bill comes, and I'm thinking in my head, he's definitely gonna pay because A, he asked me out, and B, I mean, compared to what he had, I didn't have very much. So yeah, spend an extra 35 bucks on me. What's the difference? So then he looks at me and looks at the bill and says, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, what do I want to do? Is this guy serious? I mean, do you actually think that I am going to pay for some of your food? When he said that, I took out my credit card, and before I could even tell him what I wanted to do, which was I'm willing to pay for my share, he takes my credit card, gives it to the waiter along with his, and says, split it down the middle.
You cannot be for real. Oh my God, you for real.
Isn't that some broke ass dusty shit? So when the waiter came back with the bill, I signed it and I got out of there as fast as I could. So the next day he calls me, he's like, I had such a great time. You want to go out again? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go out again. I'm like, you invited me to dinner. Not only did you not pay, but you expected me to pay for some of your food. That is absolutely ridiculous. You are nothing but a broke ass dusty dude, and I don't date broke dudes. And what's sad is he had plenty of money, right? But being broke is not about how much money you have. It's about your mentality. And you ladies need to spot this broke dude mentality right away and don't waste your time on these fools.